Hi students, welcome to e-learning modules. I am Dr. Janet Fernandez, Professor, Department of Psychology. I have been with you before, module number 6 dealing with how to construct a histogram, module number 7 teaching you how to construct a bar graph, and today we are going to learn module number 8, how to construct a pie diagram or also called as circle graph. Well, the basic objective of this module is to teach you how to construct a pie diagram, and by being present for this module, you are going to learn the communication power of graphical representation and also have a hands-on experience in learning how to construct a pie diagram. What is the meaning of a pie diagram or a circle graph? It is a graph or a diagram on which data is represented through sections or portions of a circle. And why is this diagram called a pie? Because the pie diagram refers to the circumference of a circle, which is usually represented as 2 pi in statistical analysis or in mathematics, wherein the frequency in a given data table is equated to 360 degrees. The most important part of constructing the pie diagram is that there is an assessment of angles that will correspond to component parts in the data given, and these angles have to be calculated. The required sectors of the circle are to be drawn taking into account the angles, for which you would require a protractor and a compass along with your drawing material, that is your pencil, your rubber and your ruler. One thing that has to be kept in mind is that the numerical data here is converted into angles of a circle, and these angles are then represented through a pie diagram. Let us see how we actually construct a pie diagram. Supposing you have a data table as the one given in the slide, and this data table shows us or represents hobbies of 120 class 12 students. These are the hobbies that are listed here in this column: gardening, artist, music, reading and cookery. And these are the number of students out of the 120 students in class 12th who have these hobbies. Like for example, gardening, there are 24 students having that hobby. There are 6 students who have artistry as a hobby, 48 students who have music as a hobby, 12 go into reading and 30 have a hobby of cookery. The question for you is, represent this entire data with the help of a pie diagram for a better representation. Let us now learn how to construct a pie. This is the table that is already given to you. The first column contains hobbies, the second column contains number of students, wherein you total the number of students and put it down to 120 here. The most important step here is indicated in green, where you have to calculate angles of a circle. Now, there is a particular formula that you have to use in order to calculate angles of a circle. For example, for gardening, there are 24 students who have the hobby of gardening, and you have to calculate the angle for this 24 students. What do? you take this 24 and divide it by the total number of students in the class 120 and multiply the value that is obtained to 360. That gives us 72 degree as the angle of the circle. In a similar way, if you go to the other hobbies, the number of students with regard to that particular hobby, if you look here, 48 for music, 12 for reading, 30 for cookery, is divided by the total number of students in the class, that is 120, and the value obtained after division is multiplied by 360, that is the circumference of the circle is 360, which gives us a particular angle. And just to check that you are correct in constructing angles for this particular hobbies that are listed here, the value of all these, the sum of all these angles have to be equated to 360 degrees. Now, once you have the angles of a circle, it is now your time to construct each of these angles on the circle and represent this data given in a pie diagram. Once you do that, you will get a picture like this. This is a circle and these are the angles which represent hobbies along with the percentage of students who are having these hobbies. Let me go back to actually teach you how to construct a pie. You will require a graph paper like the one that I have here. You will require a compass point with a pencil. Search the midpoint of the graph paper and keeping the compass on the midpoint, draw a nice large circle because the pie is a circle diagram or a circle graph. So, you need to draw a circle there. We have a circle and you mark the point here. What we are going to do is, we are going to mark all these degrees of angles on this particular circle that I have drawn, for which I will require something called as a protractor. This is an instrument which is found in the compass box and I am sure all of you have used it somewhere in the 8th, 9th and 10th standard. So, let us proceed in order to plot the angles on this big circle. Placing the center of the protractor on the center of the circle, we will mark each of the angles. For example, the first angle is 72 degrees here. So, we start by marking 72 and we just count it here. We reach to a point of 70 and we exactly mark 72. And then we take a ruler and we join the angles formed. All right. Once we join that, you can put the value of the angle here for you to know which is the component of the circle that you have already plotted, as well as name the component as gardening. Then we proceed on to mark the next angle, which is 18 degrees. So, you can go here, you can place the D here on this angle and start marking your 18 degrees, which should be somewhere closer to 20. So, you mark a point here and with the ruler you can actually draw the second angle and mark it here 18 degree and name it as artist. Then we go to the third one, music is 144 degree. So we place our D here and we count the 144, 90, 100, 110, 20, 30, 40 and somewhere we place here and we mark a point and we take a ruler and we join the point and here we mark it as 144 degree. The next one we come to 36. So we place it here and we mark it 36 somewhere around here closer. Then we put a point here at 36. Okay, let us name this as music. Let us name the 36 as reading. And we got the final. If we measure it, it has to be 90 degree, which I will not do. So we straight away mark it to 90 degree and we name it as cookery. So here our pie diagram is ready for us. We name it as a pie graph or a diagram or a circle graph. And here we are ready to enjoy the data being represented through the angles of a circle, which is called as a pie diagram. Now, if you are good at coloring or if you like working with colors and if you would like to make your diagram more appealing, you can have, it's the same diagram here. Only thing I have put colors in here to make it more appealing, to talk more about the particular data that is given. If you look at this data, at first hand you would see that many of the students have music as their hobbies. There are very little students who have got artist as their hobbies. Of course, cookery, there are 25% of the students who are interested in cookery. So this diagram is called as a pie diagram or it is also called as a circle graph. So you see this entire table here, which is just in the form of numbers and words, is beautifully converted here into a pie diagram or a circle graph, which is more appealing and which has a lot of communicative power. If you are working on Excel or SPSS, if you place your data into the worksheet, you will get a ready-made diagram like this, which is called as a pie diagram. And of course, it indicates the percentage of students who are having such hobbies. Also, if you go to Excel, we can even do something called as an exploded pie, where each of the angle is separated in order to indicate the percentage. Well, you can keep your hands still working on many of the pie diagram exercises given on two books, Statistics in Psychology and Education by S.K. Mangal and Garrett. Have a lovely learning session. Thank you.